When we start making books like this and giving surgery and hormones to young people, something is wrong. That's all I want people to see. And for us to actually have healthy kids, we have to start to stand up against this. Or we're gonna have a bunch of kids who are screwed up, don't understand who they are, and are gonna seriously probably get addicted to drugs and alcohol and hate themselves.
All right, so I got this book called It Feels Good to Be Yourself, a book about gender identity. So, if you want to read the title.
Oh yeah, I need this for sure because I don't know my gender identity. What?
So yeah, if you can read that title and then just flip through it and show us what you read there and react to it, I think that would be great.
I can't help myself. I'm just like rolling my eyes and shit. Like, are you kidding? So, It Feels Good to Be Yourself, a book about gender identity, because we sure need those books. So, there we go. Okay. Some people are boys, some people are girls, some people are both, neither, or somewhere in between. This sweet, straightforward exploration of gender identity will give children a fuller understanding of themselves and others. With child-friendly language and vibrant art, It Feels Good to Be Yourself provides young readers and parents alike with the vocabulary to discuss this important topic with sensitivity. That's kind of interesting to me, the way they worded that, with sensitivity.
Right.
So it's a sensitive subject, then, is that what they're saying? Because it is a sensitive subject, and I'm not really sure kids should be learning about gender identity. I'm not sure what age group this is marketed to. Do you know?
It seems pretty young, like 4 or 5 or 6 or something.
It says, for Monte Carlo, a queer angel who taught me to be myself, embrace my fluidity, love my community, and never stop making art. Well, there you go, just the use of the word queer. That is a red flag to me. So here, this is Ruthie. Wait, I'm gonna get to a better page. I wanna find one that has actually where, you see what I said earlier? So let's say this is 4th grade. Let's just say what 4th or 3rd grade, right? So they're teaching kids that boys and girls don't exist on some level and that there are other genders. No, there isn't. There are no other genders. There's a boy and a girl. Now, if you want to be fluid in between that, you go right ahead. And that's when you're an adult, you get to make that choice. But as a child, you do not get to make that choice because it's a lie. You're lying to children. There is no other thing besides a boy or a girl. Why are they mixing kids up like that? You know, this kind of stuff is very upsetting to me. This is Ruthie's brother, Xavier. Xavier is a cisgender boy. Okay, there's that language. There they are, dividing me and you. That's a divide. That's not saying you're normal, right? They're teaching a kid right here that you are different than me. No, you're not different than me. We are actually human beings together, and I don't understand why they are doing, this is actually very disturbing. And boy is Xavier's gender identity. Okay, yeah, no kidding. And then, wait, non-binary is a helpful word that can describe a kid who doesn't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. Did you hear that? Non-binary is a helpful word that can describe a kid who doesn't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. Yes, they do. They feel like boys and girls. That is actually wrong. Kids who are saying they're non-binary at the age of 5, 6, 7, that's not real. They're being taught that. They're being taught that that's an actual option for them. And how is that going to help them when they get older? How are you helping a kid move forward in the world with their own self and the strength of their own self by telling them that they're not a boy and a girl, that there's something different? To be different is not easy. And to be different isn't necessarily embraced by the world. The last thing you want your child to be is different. You want your child to be part of the world. So right here, you're automatically telling your child they're different, which is automatically putting some type of weird space for them. These books, this is ideology, by the way. This is an ideological book. Okay, this is Ruthie's friend, Alex. Alex is both a boy and a girl. That's not confusing. Nah, no, in no way, shape, or form is that confusing to these kids right now. I guarantee you. I want to read this to my kid and see what he thinks. When Alex was born, everyone thought Alex was a girl, but Alex is both a boy and a girl. This is Alex's gender identity. You know, I'm sorry, but I'm not happy with this book. Alex and JJ are both non-binary. Just like there are many different ways to be a boy or a girl, there are many different ways to be non-binary. Too many to fit in a book. Dude, this is an ideological book. This is not a book that should be in any school system. If you want to have it at your home, you go right ahead. And if you want to teach your kids that, you go right ahead. But the fact that we are doing this and teaching this in a school system, to me, is actually dangerous. Not only is it dangerous, it's a lie. We are teaching lies to children. So I think your question last time was, how did we get here? Something to that effect. Because people are participating in it. Adults are participating in this. It is up to adults. This will not end until No, we don't need this side and that side. That's also causing a problem, right? So we have the far, far right and whatever you want to call them, and the far, far left and woke, whatever you want to call them. Those are the two people that don't want to find a solution. So these people are pushing this, right? And these people are pushing against this and calling us weirdos and freaks and everything that I had hoped that would never happen again. But now because of this, those people have ammunition to again call us freaks and weirdos and psychos and that we're doing this to children. We're literally giving them the ammunition to set us back 500 years in our rights and where we are. I was living a comfortable life. So were all my trans friends. Now we're living in a life where we're teaching kids that they're not boys and girls. How do you think that's going to translate to the rest of the world? It's going to make people think we are insane and that we are indoctrinating children into a belief system that is not real. See, when you were born, you couldn't tell people who you were or how you felt. They looked at you and made a guess. Maybe they got it right, maybe they got it wrong. That's the other thing that really pisses me off. This idea that you are assigned a gender at birth. No, you're not. You are a sex at birth. A penis and a vagina are sex organs. They create males and females. Everything between that, me, you just figure it out and move forward. But this idea that they are assigning genders to children is so insane and so wrong. That's not what's happening. Now, if this child grows up and says, Mommy, I don't feel this way or whatever, that's a different story. Then we can take it from there. But the fact that they're telling little babies and little kids that the doctor might be making a mistake and the doctor might not understand who you are because you can't say who it is sick. It's what a baby's body looks like when they're born can be a clue to what the baby's gender will be, but not always. And I bet they're going to talk about intersex, which many of my intersex friends are very disgusted by this whole conversation because intersex is not trans. It's an actual medical condition. It's I don't need to get into that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward because I'm going to throw up soon. So you might feel like a boy. You might feel like a girl. You might feel like both a boy and a girl, or like neither. You might feel like your gender changes from day to day and year to year. You might feel that none of these words describe you perfectly. You might not be sure yet. Maybe you're still figuring it out. They're literally telling kids that. These kids don't think that. They don't. I don't think these people are around kids. I'm around them all the day. I coach the soccer team. I referee. I go to his school all the time. Kids aren't talking like this. They're just playing basketball or whatever they're doing or running around and the girls are over here and the boys are over here. You know what I mean? I can see my kid going through that phase where he has a crush on a girl and it's, that's actually normal stuff kids are doing. They're not doing this. If there is any kid that doesn't feel like a boy or a girl, it's a very small, tiny little amount that feel that way. It's not the huge amount of people they're trying to sort of use in this book as if all these kids are confused about their gender identity. No, they're not. No, they're not. They never have been until you made books like this and brought it to their attention on some level and said, hey, wait a minute, maybe I should think about that.
Right, they're being confused by those.
They're actually being taught to be confused about who they are.
Yeah.
That is actually sick, and that is wrong. And books like this, you know, I'm not into banning books. I actually am not. Even books I disagree with. I think that that's also a slippery slope. But I don't think a book like this should be given to young people at all. I think if a parent wants to buy it, they should have access to it, and they can do it. They have every right to do what they need to do with their children. But in a situation that's a public space, I don't think that things like this should be introduced into that. You're just mixing kids up.
Right, right.
You should say that because we actually brought the book because Audible wanted to hire you to be
Dude,
Yeah, that's a commercial.
Dude, if they pay me $1 million, I'll do it. Then I'll donate it. Then I'll donate the fucking $1 million to the organizations that are tearing this shit down.
Well, that's great with the book. I just want to give you any last chance to say anything else that is on your heart or mind. Yeah, any other thoughts?
Well, you know, I have so many thoughts, and every day I deal with the internet because I have to. And every day I'm on there, people telling me what I'm doing is killing children, and that shame on me, and that I shouldn't be saying the things I'm saying, and that, you know, so what I think my last thoughts are is this. I'm here for a reason. I survived all of my trauma, every alcoholism, drug addiction, homelessness. I mean, I could go on and on. And here I am, because I'm my own person. And I will not be bullied, and I will not be told how to speak. And this is my community as well. And I actually fear the future of the trans community. And so I sit here today to tell people that you have to get a better understanding of what it means to be a transsexual person, and that you are being told things that are not true, and that you are just going along with it because of your fear of being called a transphobe or a TERF. That is all fake. So I'm actually here to ask the world to start to actually investigate. Use your time and energy to look at things, because I know you all feel the way I do. Something is wrong. When we start making books like this and giving surgery and hormones to young people, something is wrong. That's all I want people to see. And for us to actually have healthy kids, we have to start to stand up against this. Or we're gonna have a bunch of kids who are screwed up, don't understand who they are, and are gonna seriously probably get addicted to drugs and alcohol and hate themselves. So that's why I'm here. I'm just here to be honest with you, because I think honesty will win in the end. But during the time that we're doing this to kids, I just can't even believe it's happening.